we take a look at rotations. All we're doing essentially when we're rotating something is we're just turning it. Okay? So in this section, again, we're just turning figures by rotating them. The center of rotation is the fixed point at which the figure is turned. The number of degrees the figure turns is the angle of rotation. Okay? So generally, the center of rotation with these problems is always going to be the origin. We're just going to take a figure and we're just going to rotate it, and that center of rotation is going to be the origin. The number of degrees the figure is turning is the angle of rotation. This is how many degrees you're turning it. The ones we're generally going to look at here are 90, 180, and 270, what we're talking about below. You can technically rotate them other degrees, but the main ones we're going to look at are 90, 180, and 270. Okay? How the rules for rotations are written. They're always represented with a lowercase r. Okay? We talked about another transformation yesterday, which was reflections. That's really represented with a capital R. It's your job to know the difference. The reflections are a capital R, rotations are a lowercase r. And rotations will have a degree. It'll have some degree that you're rotating the object by. For reflections, will have an equation of a line that you're reflecting over. But again, it's your job to know the difference. Okay. So following is just going to be a summary, and we are going to always rotate things counterclockwise. These rules are always for objects counterclockwise. So think how the hands of a clock go, and you don't have to write this down. Clockwise is going this way. You're turning to the left. Okay? Counterclockwise is going the opposite direction. We're turning to the right. Alright? So just if you think of a clock and think of the way the hands of the clock go, counterclockwise is just that opposite direction. Okay? So all these rotations are for counterclockwise. So essentially we're just going to follow these rules. Whenever you're asked to rotate something 90 degrees, okay? Essentially all you're doing is you are going to flip a point, like they did here. The X and Y trade places. And then what you're going to do is change the sign of the first.
Definitely write this down. It's something you have to remember.
It's your responsibility for knowing these rules. Okay? So whenever you're asked to rotate something 90 degrees, every time you flip the point to the X and Y trade places, and then you change the sign of the first one. So if you look at this example, we have the point 2, 3. If we flip 2, 3, it's going to become what? 3, 2. And change the sign of the first. So that first one was positive, so we make it a negative. So if you notice, if we rotated this point 90 degrees counterclockwise, that's where we end up. Negative 3, 2. Don't focus on X and Y and things like that. Just focus on that pattern. Flip the point, change the sign of the first. With 180 degrees, when you're asked to rotate something 180, you're not going to flip anything. There's no flipping. All you're going to do is change the sign of both. Right? And you notice here we had 2, 3. We're rotating it 180 degrees, so there's no flip. We literally just change the sign of both. So if there's a positive 2, it becomes a negative, and a positive 3 becomes a negative 3. So if we rotated this 180, you just change the sign of both numbers. You don't do any flipping. decimal time. If you are asked to rotate something 270 degrees, what you're going to do, it's really similar to 90. You're going to flip the point. So the X and Y trade places. But instead of changing the sign of the first, we're going to change the sign of the second. Well, for example, we have this point here, 2, 3. If we flip 2, 3, it's going to become 3, 2. And then you change the sign of the second. Make sure you always flip first. Don't change the sign and then flip. You're going to get the wrong answer. Always flip the point first. Look at the number you're supposed to change the sign and change the sign. Okay? 360 we don't really worry about. If you start and you rotate something 360 degrees, you literally go back to where you started from. So nothing really changes when you rotate something 360. Okay? Questions over that? How I like what helps me remember is with 90, because 90 comes first, when you flip, you change the sign of the first. 270 comes last, so when you flip, you change the sign of the last one. And that kind of helps me remember. And then 180, there's no flipping, so you can go ahead and change the sign of both of them. True or false? It's a rotation in isometry.
I have a question about that. Are we just going to be going by units of 90 degrees? Or?
Yep. Well, when we get to symmetry, we'll go about 90 degrees, but you're just finding an angle, you're not actually rotating it. But yeah, when it's in the coordinate plane, it's just units of 90. Good question. But think back to yesterday. True or false? It's a rotation in isometry or a rigid motion. What do you think? Yeah. Why? Very good. You're not changing the size of the shape. All you're doing is just turning it. You're just changing the location. So the size and shape stay exactly the same. You're just turning it around.
And let's try some practice with it. Up here it just tells you if you want to see what the rotation is going to be, you just turn your paper. So wherever your image is starting at, if you want to see a 90-degree rotation, just turn your paper one turn where it's facing in the direction. That's what your new image should look like. If you want to go 180, do 2 turns. If you want to go 270, go 3 turns. So it helps you make sure you're doing the right work there to see where it should be. All right, so let's try this first one out here. We're going to grab the triangle on those vertices right there. And then we're going to rotate counterclockwise 90 degrees of the origin. Well, first thing first, let's do what we've been doing. Let's grab these points. Negative 3, 6. Negative 3, 6. 4, 1. And then 2, negative 1. There we go, that's better. There's my triangle. Sometimes you give the triangle, then you got to do it. Sometimes you give you points, you got to make the triangle. So it depends on what you're given. We want to rotate it counterclockwise 90 degrees. So what do I have to do to these points to rotate it 90 degrees? Look back at your notes. Megan, what do we do? Flip the points. That's exactly what I want to do. If you get the habit of doing this, you guys will be golden. So the points are already written for me. My next thing is I'm just going to flip them. Don't do anything with the sides yet. Just flip them. So this up here, this one was a negative 3, 6. If I flip it, it now becomes a, what's negative 3, 6? 6, negative 3. 6, negative 3. Hold on. What is that? It's going to be 6, negative 3. Let's do the other point. The other point was 4, 1. Flip it, it becomes 1, 4. And then the last one's going to be negative 1, 2. Very good. So those are points that are flipped. But not only do you flip it with 90, what else do I have to do to it? Which one? Change the first sign. Because what comes first? 90 or 270? 90 comes first. That's why you change the first one. So this was a positive 6, and now it becomes a negative. Don't do anything with the 3. You're just changing the first one. Positive 1 becomes a,
-1.
and then a negative 1 becomes a.
+1.
And let's go ahead and graph that and see what we have when we graph this. So when I graph this figure, -6, -3, -6, -3, right there. -1, -4, -1, -4. Oh, I lied. 4. And then the last one is going to be 1, 2. And you can see that figure was just flipped 90 degrees. Ugh, right there. There's a right angle. It's now perpendicular to it. Just flip down. That's it. Well, we like counterclockwise. That's how we operate, because that's how your graph is. You got quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. It works counterclockwise. So, but sometimes those tricky people out there like to throw a wrench in your gears and say, all right, we'll move clockwise. You're like, I don't know how to move clockwise. I know how to move counterclockwise. That's easy. I follow those rules. But there's 2 things we're going to help you out with these counterclockwise steps. First one being this. Think about this a little bit. Clockwise. Again, we told you everything wants to rotate to the left. This is not. But if I move 180, what do you know about 180? Think about rotations on 180. What's happening really?
You're basically just putting it on the other side. So.
You're putting on the other side. It's the opposite. I'll use this example here. If I'm facing the wall and I turn my body 180, where am I going to face?
The front wall.
This wall behind you, right? So if I move clockwise, though, I'll sort of move counterclockwise. I move first. That's going to my left. I'm facing that wall, right? All right. But I'm going back to the original, and I go clockwise. So does it matter clockwise or counterclockwise with 180? No, it doesn't matter. So 180 around the origin clockwise is the same thing as 180 counterclockwise. So they trick you up sometimes. So one of my favorite quotes in sports was Jason Kidd. You guys are basketball fans, you might know Jason Kidd. He got traded. I forget what team he got traded to, but they were interviewing him, talking about what he's going to do with the team. And he, in the interview, he said, "You know what? This team's going to do a complete 360. You won't even recognize this team." He meant to say 180, but it's funny to think about it. If you do a 360 with your basketball team, guess what? You're back to where you started. So if you're a terrible basketball team the first time, you go all the way around to 360, you're still a terrible basketball team. I thought that was pretty funny. Not a lot of people got that right away, but nah. Question?
No, just some for the next one.
Oh, the next one. Okay. 90 degrees around the origin. So again, we don't go counterclockwise. But if I have my original figure, let's say it's this blue one right here, how can I get to the same clockwise this way? How can I get to that same quadrant? Is there a way to get there? Gary, do you have an idea?
Yes, there is a shortcut that you can do. Just add 180 degrees to 90, or if you're working at 270, subtract 180.
That's the better thing, the 270. You're right. You do 180 plus 90 does give you 270. But instead of going clockwise, we don't know how to do that, go counterclockwise. So if we can go counterclockwise, because think of this blue shape. If I do one move, that's 90 degrees. If I move again, that's 180 degrees, pointing the opposite way. If I move again, that's 270. So, the same thing, if they ask you to go 90 degrees clockwise, that's the exact same thing of moving 270 counterclockwise.
And vice versa, if you're asking it's 270, it's just 90.
90, yep.
This switches.
Goes the other way around. All right. Well, let's do these moves to tell us what to do. So it says graph the triangle number 1. Let's rotate it clockwise. Let's do the one red here. So I'm going to graph my original one. So it's good. I had it blue. So my points are up here. Negative 36. Negative 36. 4, 1. The other one is 2, negative 1. There is my pre-image. I'm going to take that and I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees. What do I do to the points to rotate 180 degrees?
You could, multiply them by,
No, let's not multiply by anything. Let's not plant the seed. You just change the signs. That's all you do. So I have my original points, and I'm going to flip the signs. So I'll do that here in the red here. So we're just write down. Again, we'll do more of this. I always recommend writing the points. The points are already written for you, so I don't need to do that, but sometimes you're not given the points. So always, once you have them, write them down. If you're given to, if you don't need to, you can change it. So let's flip the signs to get our next point. If I have negative 3, 6, raise your hand if you get this, no shouting out here. Negative 3, 6, what would that flip to the other one? Chloe, thanks for raising your hand. If I switch it, I'm just flipping the signs. We said negative 3, 6 now becomes, yep, good 180. So just change the signs. Just change the signs. So negative 3, positive 6 becomes positive 3, negative 6. Perfect. Same thing for 4, 1. What do you do? It's going to be,
negative 1.
hold on, young people here. Try this out. We get, Courtney, thanks for raising your hand. Nice job. And the last one, we have 2, negative 1 becomes, Riley, what'd you get?
Negative 1.
No, don't switch points. So it's negative 2, positive 1. Good. Nice job. And let's graph those and see what it looks like. So 3, negative 6. 3 right there. Negative 6. Negative 4, negative 1. And then negative 2, 1. So if you think about it, if this blue one's facing up here, quadrant 2, this other one's facing down at quadrant 4 over there. So they're facing, oriented different directions. Now, let's do a rotation of 270. Or, excuse me, let's do 90 degrees clockwise. That's really the same thing as 270 counterclockwise. So we're going back to those same points. Here's what we recommend doing with these same points. 270 degrees. Write down the points. They're already there for you. Now I want to flip them first. Get in the habit of flipping them first. Then we'll change the sign. But in 270, which sign do we change? The first one or the second one? Second one. 270 comes after 90, so we'll do that. Let's go ahead and flip the points now. So, flip those points. Negative 3, 6 becomes 6, negative 3. 4, 1 becomes 1, 4. And then the last one is going to be negative 1, 2. Now, I realize some of you say, yes, I could do that and switch it real quick. This is one of the most missed mistakes because some people like to change the sign first, then flip it. We're just showing you a pattern where you can be successful. Flip the points. Write them down, flip. Then you say, is this 90 or 270? If it's 90, I change the first number. If it's 270, I change the second one. This one says we're doing 270, so you change that second number, the sign's second number. So, negative 3 becomes 8. Positive 4 is 8. And then positive 2 is 8. Negative. Now we graph it. 6, 3. 1, negative 4. Negative 1, negative 2. There it is. Rotation. 3 rotations. 1, 2, 3. If we would have had a 90 rotation counterclockwise 90, you'd have another one kind of like a Chinese throwing star there. All the little points in there. Questions with those? Yeah, not too bad. You have to know those rules. Study those. Understand these rules right here. Memorize those. There's only 3 of them you have to know. So you should be fine with that. Questions?